straight to the MyLabs Plus, and I'm just going to click on the main coordinator course, which is right here, and we're going to talk about MyLabs Plus. Now, again, MyLabs Plus, everything is in MyLabs Plus. Your test, your syllabi, your handouts, your homework, your final exam, everything is in MyLabs Plus. How do you find it? Well, on the left-hand side is your menus. And you go down and you find what you want. Okay? Everything on the top right here is my handouts and the syllabus. That way, there's no way in God's green earth that even the dumbest people can not find the syllabus and the handouts. Even though there are some that can break an anvil with a banana, most students, can find them right there. Okay? Now, down below those, which is under forwarding TCTC, is the icons for MyLabs Plus. And all you need to be worried about is assignments, gradebook, e-text, and chapter contents. So I want everybody to take your notebook out, excuse me, I'm still running on the treadmill, and write down those four, okay? I want you to write down assignments, and then we're going to say what's in there. Gradebook, I'm going to say what's in there, even though 99% of you know what that means. But there's still one student at the end of the semester, after grade turn-in, will call me or text me and ask me what's their grade. E-text and chapter contents. And leave a little bit of space so you can write down. Now, I do understand that most of you have had exposure to online support. Okay? Now let me ask you up in Pendleton. How many are up there? I only see two on the right. I think I see a laptop. Okay. I see a laptop on the left over there. Turn it just a little bit to your right, the camera a little bit to your right, a little bit. That's good right there. All right, now I at least see a couple of hands and a laptop and a Coke. All right. So, out of the three, what's your prereqs to 110? In other words, what class did you have before you enrolled in this class?
Problem and stats.
Okay. Did you right out of high school or what?
Yeah.
Okay, so you had high school classes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have you had any exposure to online supplements like this?
No.
I didn't think so. Okay, how about you? Next one.
My last class was pre-cal.
Okay, high school?
Yes, sir.
Did you have any exposure to online supplements like this?
Not really.
Okay, guy on the left with the Coke that I can't see. There you, now I can.
I had calculus.
Okay, and you had it in high school. Did you have any online supplements like this?
No, sir.
Okay. How about you, Miss Gear?
I had private stats and no, not online.
Okay, Oconee?
Algebra 2, but no, none of the computer backup for
Now
it.
y'all see why I'm going over this. Okay, how about you on the left, screen left, sorry.
I took pre-cal out of
high
high school, and yeah, I didn't have any kind of online.
Okay, anybody here in Anderson? All y'all high school students?
I've used it
Okay, where'd you use it?
here. I did.
What class?
I did Bio 101.
And you had MyLabs Plus, and okay, good. Anybody else? What'd you have? Oh, what'd you use? What? P-E-A-K? Okay, what about you?
Just in math.
That doesn't matter, I just want to know if you had.
I use Canvas a little.
Okay, I've heard of Canvas. Homeschool? Okay, homeschool?
Yeah.
Okay, I just wondered, anybody else homeschooled?
Uh,
What did y'all use, or did you use pen and paper?
I used Canvas.
Canvas? Okay, what about y'all?
Canvas and I'm his brother.
Okay, Canvas must be like Blackboard, right? Something like Blackboard or something like this? Okay, I'm really not familiar with it. I've heard of it, and I think some schools use it, but I just can't. I've heard teachers, I've got teacher friends, I've heard them talk about Canvas. or it might be my son, I can't remember. But I've heard somebody talk about Canvas. That's why I go over this, because I never know how many people have or have not had it. So that's a good thing. All right, now let's talk about the first one, assignments. What do y'all think is under assignments? Everything. Okay? Test, homework, final exam.
MyLabs Plus.
So I know it's a hard concept that everything be under assignments.
Are you?
Okay? And it'll take a second. Now, I've noticed something about MyLabs Plus. It's running a little bit slow.
Not like the app.
And it's usually not that slow. Usually when you click on assignments, boom, it comes up. So I'm thinking that maybe it's the first of the semester and maybe they're getting their act together like we are. So there they are. Now you notice it's only, well, it's not, oh, that's, okay, this is the coordinator.
Track any email.
The coordinator course, this is,
About the at and beyond.
what are y'all talking about?
Trying to log into MyLabs Plus.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay. Oh, I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about that. Okay, let me go back because this is very important. I'm going to log out and I'm going to show y'all something. Has anybody in the Anderson campus not logged in yet?
Just our key number.
Okay, I'm going to do something here and I hope it works.
Do you
All
use
right,
a
let me get sign out.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to Blackboard if it works. You kidding me? Let me see what happens because I'm going to show y'all something. Did anybody get the email I sent y'all yesterday? It was through Starfish, so sometimes I don't know if y'all get them or not. It talks about what to click if you get the rotating spinner or whatever. Okay, this is what I go through this with all my classes. I just almost forgot. So thank you, Pendleton, for reminding me to go to log in because I forgot to do that. All right, H. McClure, TC. I'm going to say. I don't know if I'll be able to log in as somebody else. No, I don't think I will. I'd have to go through y'all's. All right, there is Blackboard. I'm amazed that it works. All right, and this class is, what's Anderson? 110 what? Is it 07? Okay. And when you click on it, there, it was there yesterday. There it is. It was at the top yesterday. I put it at the top.
I'm still.
Damn Russian.
Let me see what you typed in.
Okay, now everybody watch this now because it may not do it. I don't know if it's going to do it or not. There. All right, MyLab. That's MyLab's help. Where's my?
It's right there, the second one.
Oh my gosh.
It's okay, it's not. Yeah, this free.
There. All right, MyLabs Plus, click on it, and I hope it does it. After you click on it the second time, right here, you may go into a spin. Okay? If it does that, there will be a little red, okay, of course it's not going to do it. Right there, see it? Everybody look in the top right-hand corner of the screen. You see that red box? You need to right-click on it, write this down. Right-click on the red box and hit Load Unsafe Scripts. Load Unsafe Scripts. Then, if it still does it, then you need to right-click. There'll be an X up here. Now, this is only through MyLabs Plus because through Blackboard because Blackboard is such an efficient thing to use. Okay? So, and once you get logged on to MyLabs Plus, you don't have to go through Blackboard. I told y'all that like 5,000 times. Okay? So, if it still does the spinning thing, there'll be a red X right here. You right-click on the red X, and then it'll say allow cookies or something like that. Allow content or something like that. And after you do that, then you should be able to log on. You'll be registered, and then after that, you don't have to use Blackboard anymore. I don't know why they want you to go through Blackboard, but they do. I really think it's to justify Blackboard.
Like TCTC MyLabs Plus, not MyLabs Plus or something.
Yes, go by there and see if you can log in. And I think I will look, at least for the Anderson campus. I think this is the Anderson campus. Right now, the Anderson campus has 3 people out of, what, 9? So we just had 6 losers at the Anderson campus. And they are the winners. There's the winners at the Anderson campus. Oh, but my grandmother died 6 times. I'll be quiet. At this campus, Miss Octavia Liddick, she is a winner. And let's look at the last one. Oh, no. Okay, the 3, 1, and 2. And then at whatever campus this is, Mr. Dupree and Mr. Ray are winners. So we've got people logging on. So evidently it's working. Either the TCTC MyLabs Plus is working, or the MyLabs Plus link is probably the website, but I'm not going to go into that. Okay, so now we have gone through whatever we need to go through. We go to MyLabs Plus, and after we go through the rigmarole of Blackboard, now you can log in. Now remember, you can log in, type in your username at Tri-County Tech, and then type in either your password, and if your password doesn't work, use your T number with a capital T. I don't know which one will work. Sometimes both, most of the time, let me ask people that have logged on. Which one worked for y'all?
T number.
You used the T number. What'd you use? You don't remember?
Password.
Password. What about y'all?
T number.
T number.
Okay, T number. What about Oconee?
T number.
T number. So it sounds like T number is what you need to use. Okay, so you get to there, and here you are again. We're back where we started at the beginning of class, haphazardly, and I'm just going to pull up the coordinator course. The coordinator course, basically, if I change something in the coordinator course, it goes to all of y'all. So if I change a date, I don't have to do it 3 times. I have to do it just 1 time, except for the Math 110 online, which is a separate class. Okay, so there's the syllabi, there's all the stuff, and then we go down to assignments. Now, when you have assignments, the homework will be like this. It'll say homework, and it'll have a circle beside it. The test, let me go ahead and load the test so you'll see what the test looks like. Assignment, test, let me get a test, let's see. Show test, give me a second. Let me just throw the Unit 1 test in there. Assign, and what's today? Settings for class. Today is what? 21st? And 8 o'clock, and then it's going to be due the 21st at, oh my God, some hammies are going to go crazy. We got a unit test today. We got a unit test today. Y'all need medication. 10 o'clock a.m. I'm just going to show you a couple of things on it. Right there, 10 a.m. There we go. Okay, now let's do the homework first. I'm going to show you what the homework is all about, because the homework is 20% of your grade. If you don't do the homework, then what? The highest grade you can make is an 80. Okay? If you want to take the zeros, take them. I don't mind. But make sure you do the homework. You go to assignments, and now that test should show up. And the test will have a, okay, it's not, there it is. It'll have a diamond beside it. Okay? And you go, and I'm just going to pull up Intermediate Algebra Review and Orientation. Y'all should be doing those right now. And I'm just going to click on one. And the reason I'm going to click on it is going to show you what the most important part of the homework is. These buttons right here, question help, okay? And I want you to write those down and put spaces between them because I'm going to show you what they do. Help me solve this is like a guided tutorial. Write down guided tutorial. What is a guided tutorial? Well, have you ever had a tutor or somebody help you with math and you start a problem and they ask you 15,000 questions as you're doing the problem? That's called a guided tutorial. All right? Now, most people, who would use a help me solve this? Somebody who hasn't seen the material before. Okay? Like if you've been taking algebra and first time you took calculus, you would use help me solve this a lot because you've never seen it before. Okay? View an example is the tutor that just you ever been to a tutor or a teacher and they just write everything on the board and then you get the answer at the end and say, here's the answer. They don't explain anything. They say, okay, 2x, you take 2x over here, 2x over here, you divide by 2, and you get x is equal to 5. Did they ask you a question? No. They didn't ask you anything. They just showed you how to do it. View an example is good for review. Most of you will be using view an example. Now, what does Hubert do? Well, this is not to use in class. This is for you to use where? At home, when you're doing that thing that you're supposed to do, homework. Yeah, that thing you're supposed to do to get better at math. Okay? I know it's got the work in it. I know, it's awful. Okay, view an example is for you to review. Goes through here. Okay, show me how to do this. Don't ask me any questions, though. Continue, continue, continue. Okay, I see what they're doing. Okay, all right, there. Boom. That's how you do it. So most of you, I would say probably 80% of you will be using that button throughout the semester. Okay? Print. That's for people who want to print the assignment, or it'll just ask you to print the whole assignment or print just the question. Not many people print the questions anymore. They used to bring the question in. You can print the homework assignment, do it by paper and pencil, and then type in the answers. But there is a double-edged sword to that. Do not print the homework out, do the homework, and then play on homework, because what does the homework problems do whenever you type in an answer? They regenerate. So if you go through and print out the homework and it says 2x is equal to 6, divide by 2, x is equal to 3, and you write down the 3, and you go in and play with that same problem, then when you go in and type in that 3, the answer, the question is what? It's changed. So be careful when you do that. How would you do it? Print out the homework assignment, do homework 2.1, do all of it, and then go back in and type in the answers. Yes, sir.
So if we start the homework and then we have to go somewhere to do something, can we save our...
Oh, yeah, you don't have to save anything. It does everything automatically. It doesn't do that with the test, though. You got to stay in it with the test. The homework assignment, you can just X out and it'll save what you did. Okay? All right, so that's the print function. That's totally up to you if you want to use the print function. That's not a big deal. The most important one is this one. Ask my instructor. You type that in. This is when you use as a last resort. I have no earthly idea what they're doing. Click on that. Please do this. I do that for a reason. I don't want you to think that I sent this 20 minutes ago. All right? Watch. Real time. Then I go to my handy dandy Tri-County Tech email account, which is, hold on, email, and go to my email. Oh my God. Mayberry Community College. And I go over to Handy Dandy 110 folder, and it hadn't shown up yet. I haven't configured all my classes yet. Hold on, it might be on 109. Hold on. Okay, evidently things are running much slower than I thought. Usually it'll show up right then. So I don't know where it is. It'll show up. But when it shows up, it'll have a link to it. Oh, let me hit. It usually shows up. Things must be running really slow. Did I hit send? Let me do it again. Maybe I didn't hit send. Ask my instructor. You suck. There. See it? Okay, there must be, okay, evidently they're running a little bit slower. Usually it sends and it'll send it right to my email the next day. What do you think we're going to go over the first part of class? Whatever you send in. Now, Miss Gear, you're in the online class. So
Yes.
the way you do it is you send me questions. The online students sends me questions, or they can Skype me, which, you know, I ain't holding my breath, but I'm glad that you Skyped in, Miss Gear, and ask for help or whatever the case may be. Online students and class students, let's say that you don't want to send it in to go into class. Let's say you want it done right now. You want to finish your homework and you can't get past number 15. Then you just send me a text and say, Hubert, I need to go over a problem. Can you Skype? And then I'll text you back. If I'm at home, I'll say, hold on a minute. Let me set up, because I have to set up my Word document at home, my document camera, and I can do it at home. But most of the time, if you send me a text like till 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I usually can do it from here, unless I'm in class. That's why you have to look at your locator card, okay, to see if I'm in class or not. But I don't know why it's taking so long. It says waiting for Math Excel, so evidently they're running a little bit slow. And that's normal for first of the semester. Let me go check my email again. Like I say, it usually shows up. Wow. Okay, I was going to say that I have another question somewhere, but I don't think I do. Well, that's the way it's supposed to work. Evidently, the Russians have got a hold of MyLabs Plus. And, you know, that means the end of the world. I'm looking to see, there's one. Okay, here's one from last semester. And I click on it right here, and it sends me to that question, so I don't have to spend time in class looking for your question. Yes, ma'am?
For the MLP homework, but will it close us out of it on a due date like it's supposed?
Okay, how do I do the due date? This is how I do the due date. And that's what the online students need to realize this too. Because the online students probably will be going in line with y'all. Okay, because I don't believe in doing extra work. So I'm not going to sit here and go, okay, well, the online students, let's see, they'll have their test probably on July 7th. And let's see, the in-class, they'll have theirs on July 5th. So I need to go in and I need to change everybody for July 7th and July 5th. I'm not doing that. I'm not making extra work for myself. So if the online class, if the in-class, conventional class has their, I'll say July 7th, because that way all the hammies won't think there's a test July 7th, because July 7th is already passed. If there's a test on July 7th, I'm going to make sure that the online class knows that also, and it will be in the videos. And I'll go over the test in class. Will it be the same test? No, I'm not that stupid, okay? I'm not going to give you a test, the same exact test that I show you. But when I show you the test, I will set the dates on the test. You'll have a week to take it. You have 3 tries. It takes the highest of the 3. And you have an hour and a half to take it. That takes care of how many excuses? 3 or 4 excuses. You know, 5 flat tires, 10 dead grandmothers, you know, all your excuses, that takes care of it. Oh, well, lightning struck my house. Well, you have 2 more tries.
I appreciate it.
All right? Now, do people still fail? Yeah. Do people still do incompletes? Yes. People have zeros? Yes. They also procreate and have driver's licenses too. That's what's sad. But anyway, After I set the dates for the homework, the test, I go in and set the dates for the homework. Usually, the test, I usually give y'all one class period to ask questions. So if, let's say that I give y'all, I set the test is due, the test starts Friday, or today. Let's say the test starts today. Then I will give you till Friday to finish your homework, so that way you'll have Friday morning to send in any questions on homework. So chances are, you usually have one class period of homework, breathing room. So I usually shut it off the following class meeting. So chances are, Miss Gear, for the online students, and this video, if they're watching, oh gosh, please tell me I'm recording. I am. For the online videos, for the online students, they will probably go in sync with this class, because I'm not gonna make extra work for myself. So to me, that's not very smart. Okay. Now another thing, and let me go ahead and tell you this if I didn't tell you the other day. I do things different with Math 110. Unit 1 and Unit 2 are very important. If you don't know Unit 1 and Unit 2, then calculus is going to be a bad dream. Okay? So, I spend a lot of time in Unit 1 and Unit 2. You have Unit 1 and Unit 2 tests together. So that means it's going to be 3 or 4 weeks before you even talk about a test. Does everybody understand what I just said? Okay, what about the hammies? If you think you're a hammy, listen to what I just said again. We will probably not have a test until 3 or 4 weeks from today. Okay, does anybody not understand what I just said? Because, oh my God, the online class, they're going to have a conniption, all right? Except for Miss Gear, she's going to know what's going on. Because they're not going to watch the videos. And they're going to keep waiting for a test, and keep waiting for a test, and keep waiting for a test. And they're going to drive themselves crazy. Well, all they got to do is watch the videos and they know what's going on. Capiche? So, what will I do? I will probably give you a week and a half to take the Unit 1 and Unit 2 test. Now, a lot of people say, well, what the hell is he doing? The reason I'm doing it is because the two feed off each other. I really could give you just one test for Unit 1 and Unit 2, but I don't do that because that would hurt your grade. It helps you out to have 2 tests. So what I do is I go over Unit 1 and Unit 2, and then we have the test after we finish. So you're going to have a long time to work on Unit 1 and Unit 2, probably 3 or 4 weeks. Okay? So that takes care of the homework. So when you send, I want to see if it finally sent. I don't understand. No, it hasn't. Let me look at 110. That's strange. That is very strange. That means that they're running. Okay, we just won't worry about it. Okay, so anyway, that's the homework. Who's got questions on the homework? Somebody asked about the date. The dates will be on there after I go through the test. You can do it. Do not get ahead of me. Do not get ahead of me because I have skipped sections. I have, write that down. Do not get ahead of me. Now, if I pretty much if I've already put the homework out there and I think I already have for Unit 1, chances are I'm 90% sure all the sections in Unit 1 I'm going to go over. So yes, you can go ahead. If I've already put the homework on there, let me go over here and look. I don't know if I have. Somebody tell me if you looked at the homework, is there a bunch of homework or is there just like 6 sections? Yeah, that's all right. Nobody talked at one time. Let me just go into, there's how many? 6, okay. So that's the first unit. Here's Anderson campus. Where's the assignment? Okay, yeah, they're all on there for Anderson campus. So you don't get ahead of me. Just do Unit 1 for right now. Okay, just do Unit 1. Unit 1, how do you know? Well, that's why you got your outline. Okay, if you try to do this class without the outline, Don't send me any questions, okay? Because the outline tells you what to do. That's why it's so important. The outline is that, here it is, for those that didn't write it down. It's the last page. Right there. So what's Unit 1? Chapter 1 and what? 2. So you review for Unit 1 test. This is Unit 1. So you need to be doing Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. And if you notice, does this coincide with the homework? Yes. Golly, what a concept. So you go back over to the handy-dandy assignments, and you'll see, make sure you do the orientation. Don't ask me, I didn't put that on there. Intermediate, there's this one. That's where a lot of people have questions. Right here. I bet that's a 110 student online saying, I want to Skype in. 30 minutes after class starts. Let me see, I just want to make sure. I didn't know I had a video on Skyping in, did y'all? I don't have a video on Skyping in. Miss Gear, how did you know how to Skype in?
In your paperwork, it says text you.
So it's in a handout.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. Next. Anybody have any questions about the homework? Yes, sir.
So do we start off with the intermediate algebra review? And then
You need to be starting, everybody, online students, all my Poly 110s need to be working on orientation, intermediate algebra review, and start sending in those questions. Because the speed of this class is based on how many questions y'all send me. And if My Labs Plus is going to send me questions, I hope they do. Because right now I'm a little bit worried. Let me check, see, it still hasn't showed up yet. It'll show up soon. I'm gonna call them to check on it. Anyway, but yeah, go ahead and start on these two: orientation, intermediate algebra. Now I know some of my online students are already in like 2.1.2 and 2.1, and that's fine. Just don't go to Unit 2. Unit 2 is Chapter 3. So right now we're gonna fill each other out, and this is what I tell my students in all my classes. I'm going to fill you out by how many questions you send me. You're going to fill me out by how I conduct class based on your questions. So that's what basically Unit 1 does. Okay? If nobody sends me questions on this intermediate algebra review in the next couple of days, then I'm going to what? I'm going to 1.2. If everybody does intermediate algebra and 1.2, and I go in and everybody's done it, and there's no questions, and I'm going on to what? 2.1. We'll start to level out right in here, around 2.5 to 3.1. That's when everybody will start sending questions in, and I'll start going a little bit slower. Okay? They'll be somewhere. It may not be 2 point, it may be different for y'all. Since y'all are all high school students, y'all might, and I think predominantly 90% of you are high school students, right out of high school, conventional students, whatever you want to call it, traditional students, whatever. You sound like you just had dual enrollment, but you just graduated. Did you just graduate? So everybody's just graduated, right? Pretty much. Miss Gear, did you just graduate too? Okay, she's gonna sleep. Okay. Anyway, the whole point is mostly everybody in here is graduated. So chances are y'all might go through Chapter 2 and be like, pfft, and that's fine. If I don't get any questions, then we're gonna go on, move on. Heck, we'll finish early if y'all want to. Okay? But 110, college algebra is a bear. Okay? It's probably along the lines of Algebra 3 if you had an Algebra 3. I know Seneca has Algebra 3, but I don't know about, well, let's see. Oconee, did either one of y'all go to Seneca?
No, sir.
Where'd y'all go?
I went to West Oak.
Did y'all have an Algebra 3?
I don't think we did, no.
You just have Algebra 1, Algebra 2, Pre-Cal, and Cal?
Yeah.
Okay. I know Seneca did at one time have an algebra 3. This would be considered like algebra 3, kind of between algebra 2 and the algebra that you have in pre-cal. A little bit more challenging problems, okay? Now that takes care of the homework. So everybody needs to be working on orientation through 2.6. And this is how you need to do it. Okay, I know this, send this question. I know this, send this question. Go to chapter 2.1. I know this, I don't know this, send that question. That's what you need to be doing. Now, when you get to the section that you get like 2.2, I don't know what this is, then you need to stop, and then that's when I go over the questions. I get you caught up on 1.2 and 2.1, and then you move, and then I go into 2.2, and then you start doing 2.2. So you need to feel your way through the homework also, okay? Eventually, like I say, it'll level out, and there'll be stuff that I'm going over that you've never seen before or that you don't know how to do. Capiche? So we're feeling each other out this first unit. Okay? All right, now let's look at the test. Oh, let's look at the test. Let's go ahead and look at the test. All right, there's the test. Now, I've got 10 minutes left because this is a freaking Monday, Wednesday, Friday class. You know, at Tri-County Tech, if something's broke, if something ain't broke, we try to fix it. Okay? We had Tuesday and Thursday classes here at the Anderson campus. Everything was great. You had an hour and a half. You had plenty of time. And, of course, Tri-County says you need to change that to Monday, Wednesday, and Friday so you only have 50 minutes to teach. Anyway, to make a long story short, you start the test. You have 3 tries, 33 questions. And it asks you, are you sure? Please don't take a test during a thunderstorm, hurricane, snowstorm, ice storm. Don't take. Which handout? Okay, I'm gonna try to call him in right quick. Hold on. I know he's only got 10 minutes, but see, the online students, they only have to Skype in one time. So y'all just bear with me a minute. Children, C-H-I-L. Okay, all right, so here's the test. You start the test, here it is, boom. Start the test, and there's the test. Now again, this is not going to be exactly like your test. This is a sample of a test. I algorithmically regenerate, I reorder, and for each question, so like I have 10 questions. For each of those 10 questions, I have 10 to 15 questions for each of them to pull from. So for each test, I could have 200 questions that it's pulling from. Does everybody see that? So each question could have 10 questions. So the chances of you sitting beside each other and taking the same test are none. You will not, your number 3 will not be the same as your number 3. Be totally different. Okay, so there's a question. I'm not going to go through the math questions, but I do have some surprises for you. Some of these questions are from your handouts. Now, I do this for a reason. I do it on all 4 tests. Half the questions are questions that you ask throughout the semester. Turn on your camera, Mr. Chilton. Half the questions are DA questions that students ask at the end of the semester after grade turning. You'll find this is a handout question. People miss this question. Yeah, people miss this question. I don't know why they miss it, but they miss it. Mr. Chilton, are you there?
Yep.
Turn your camera on so I can see you. So I know it ain't your brother, or okay, there you go. Good job. Can you see my whiteboard?
Yep.
Good job. All right. So here's one. If your grade book to find the final grade after your all assignments, which should you choose? What should you choose when you want to find your grade? Listen. These are questions that are asked of me after grade turning. And I go over all this stuff. They're on the handouts. Well, I used to have handouts that says use your grade book, blah, 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 but I quit because people wouldn't read them. So, okay, there's a test question. That is a vertical shift, -1 down, regular parabola, so it would be -1 down. It would be probably this one, I think. Yeah, probably that one. Some of them I'm going to answer because I can see it. There's a syllabus question. This is the second most missed question. The first one is by email and phone number. What's the only answer? Why is it A? Because this don't equal what? 100%. That's what people put. These people can't spell race car backwards. All right, now, what branch of the military? That is a handout question. I have people miss it. It's the only one that says United States. I do that kind of a rip to the other ones, but anyway, just don't put Army. If you put Army, I will fail you. No, I'm just kidding. There's another test question. I've got a vertical shift of +4. The domain is 4 to infinity. I mean, the all real numbers. The range is 4 to infinity. Although covered in the handouts in the first day of class, what is the best way to communicate with Hubert? Carrier pigeon, yeah. I will take C as an answer, though. How about email him over and over so I can use it as an excuse because I suck? No, his cell phone.
Carrier.
No, you're supposed to email me over and over and then have a temper tantrum and say, hello. That's what you're supposed to do. I know. I'm going as fast as I can. Does Hubert replace your lowest grade? This is the dumbest question. Okay, I say this all the time, and I keep it on. And I will have somebody at the end of the semester call me back, and of course they're lying because they think I do this, and even though it's on 4 questions, it's on there, no way, no how. They'll call me and say, oh, I thought there was a question on the test that says that you did that. Yeah, good try. I don't reply. I don't reply to it. And there's a math question. Basically, you see how it works. Okay? And that's what we're going to do. That's the test. As soon as you do the test, you submit it, and guess what? Whether it doesn't like you, whether it does like you, whether it's you're female, whether you're male, whether you're red and yellow, black and white, it doesn't matter. It gives you your test grade. Boom. Just as soon I made a 21. And boom. Instant feedback on your homework, instant feedback on your test. Boom. There's no way that you can fail this class or not know your grade. And that's what Gradebook does. Wow, what a concept. Gradebook tells you what your grade is. And if I do everything on MyLabs Plus, if I do all the homework on MyLabs Plus, if I do all the tests on MyLabs Plus, if I do the exam on MyLabs Plus, then the grade on MyLabs Plus is what I'm going to use. I have students, yeah, I saw that I made a 91. Is that my grade for the semester? Nope. I'm going to take 30 points away from it just because I don't like you. Why would I do everything on MyLabs Plus and then change the grade to a different grade? I could see if I gave y'all 2 or 3 quizzes outside of MyLabs Plus, or if I gave y'all's test in class outside of I could see, but if I do everything in MyLabs Plus, what else am I going to do? What else am I going to put in it? I don't know where y'all get these questions from. That's Gradebook. E-text. That's how you print out your text. That's how you print out your book. You click on it, you find the section you want, and you print it out. Do you have to? No. Do you have to bring a book to class? No. All I ask you to do is bring a calculator, a notebook, pencil, colored pencils, highlighters, and you can bring a book if you want to. So you need to go to one point, click on the menu. Well, like I said, MyLabs Plus run a little bit slow. And go to 1.2, because that's your first section that you have in your, oops, I'm sorry, I picked the wrong one. I know what time it is, don't have a cow. There it is, 1.2. So you would go to print, somewhere up here there's a print button. Print page, and you can print out each individual page. Most of the sections are not more than 10 pages. Okay? So you can put 3 holes in it, put it in your notebook, bring it to class. You can bring an old book. You cannot bring a book. You can share a book. You can steal a book. You can bring a used book. I don't care what you bring to class. just so long as you take notes, bring a calculator, have a colored pencil, pens, all that good stuff, highlighters, whatever. Because when we get to the section on vertical and horizontal shifts, I'm going to ask that you color your graph. You know, the different graphs use different colors. So make sure you get colored pencils or highlighters. You don't want magic markers because that don't, unless they're the real fine ones, like Sharpies, you can use those. But they bleed through the graph paper and that makes a mess sometimes. Okay? So that's how you print out your text. I don't care what you bring to class as far as the book. Chapter contents. The reason I want to show you this is because you do have videos. Okay? And let's go to 1.2. And you'll see they have videos there. Some of the homework problems will have videos and graphic tutorials for you visual learners. There's the e-text. What is study plan? Study plan is extra homework problems to do for practice. Write that down. Study plan is extra problems for practice. Did I say for grade? No. Practice. It's like you going to another book and finding problems, or you making up problems at home and doing them. But the good thing about these is they have the help me solve this. And you can send it to me if you have a question on it. That's the good thing. And that one has a video with it. Now, since the email's running, it's probably going to be running slow with the video. Yep, it's running slow. Okay, so that takes care of pretty much those 4 buttons on MyLabs Plus. Okay, who has questions? I know it's 10 o'clock. I got to call the roll, and I got to get, I don't have, oh yeah, I do. I'm just going to go, y'all think of any questions you have while I pull up I'm going to go ahead and, online students, if you could just hold tight, don't leave yet, okay? There's only 2 of y'all. And I want to see if y'all have questions. Okay, I'm just going to go, I don't know which one comes first. I'm just going to pick one. Math 110, that's, okay, I think Anderson's first. Today is Wednesday, and how many people I got? 9? How many people are on here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So y'all can go. If you have any questions, hang tight. Let me go ahead and shut off the recording also.